Hello, welcome back to the workshop. It is fantastic to have you here. Even more fantastic, because this is the new workshop. It's a much bigger space. Sam's here, enjoying his coffee. And Sam, what are we gonna do today? I think what we should do is naturally tidy up and make the workshop better.
Indeed. And safer.
One of the things that we're gonna do is we're gonna do some tweaking to the lights that we have up there. One of the things that you'll notice when it's darker and we don't have the daylight from the sky panels above us is that I get these big shadows here under my eyes, and that's because these LED panels are obviously very bright but very harsh light. So, in order to soften the light that's hitting me, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna raise up the grid a little higher in the air and move around the position of some of these lights. Once we got it where we want it, we're then gonna secure each of the lights and then secure the grid itself with some more wire. Big thank you to the commenters that reminded us that these lights could indeed fall off the spigots, so it's gonna be good to get these a little safer. So we've now secured the individual lights. So we haven't raised them up yet. What we have done, however, is we put the filter, just a little plastic filter on the lights that came with them. We put those back on. Initially, I left them off because I'm like, hey, I need a load of light. I might as well not have something that's going to obstruct that. But of course, what it seems to do is it means that the light now comes from a much wider angle. So from what I can see as I look at myself in the little LCD display there, is it looks like the light's a little softer. The best thing is, though, is we put the antennas on the lights, and now I can control the lights here, turn them off, turn them on. Easy peasy, all from the remote control. So if I ever think that the lights are a little too powerful, like right here, you know, maybe I'm getting a lot of shadow or something like that, or the background's a little too dark, I can always just kind of turn it down a little bit, get a little bit of a better exposure for the shot. So that's all good, and hopefully that means that my face is gonna be a little more consistently lit with the kind of few subtle adjustments as I move around where it is that I'm likely gonna be working. This entire segment seems to have been a complete load of baloney. It looks like now I've reviewed the footage, need to do a lot of work on the lighting. Let's get back to this video, and apologies. So right now we have our electrician in who is working on wiring up the cooker. We've also got Dave painting the office. How's it going, Dave?
Good, yes, thank you.
So that is exciting, everything's getting done. All of the other MDF walls are also gonna get painted. Now I must confess, I feel very silly for not thinking about this. A commenter on the last video where he saw me struggling trying to shift this with a crowbar because I couldn't access it. Ratchet strap. Why didn't I think of this? We're gonna see if this works, it might not, and this could be the way that I get the 6th hole in this power hammer base. Yes! It's working! Looks like I just need to go a little bit further. Oh my goodness, wow! That is loud. And I think I just got that on camera. It just got me cowering as the plane went over. Woo! The electrician is wiring up all our 3-phase stuff and our 16 and 32 amp single-phase stuff. So soon I'm gonna be able to have the hammers running and the mills running, which is great. Sam and I are now going to deal with securing the entire lighting grid safely. Now we just need to get this up there.
Thanks for all your help, Sam.
Very well, everyone. See you soon.
Have a great one.
We now have safe lights that definitely are not going to fall on our head.
And I also have a little eye right here on the wire going up.
Which means that whenever we want to suspend things for various cutting purposes, with various swords that might ever variously get made, we at least have a mounting point for them. Fantastic! And now what we need to do is I need to be able to get Mr. Pilkington, the good old Pilkington power hammer, up and running.
When we were planning out how we were going to get this out of the workshop, the plan was to take the motor separate from the power hammer. It ended up all balancing perfectly.
And we lifted up the power hammer with the motor attached. The issue is I had taken off the cage that was welded to the base, and I had taken off the belts, which means that the power hammer and the motor are no longer aligned, the belts are no longer on, and the cage needs to be put back.
When I say they're no longer aligned, I mean the alignment between each one of these grooves and the motor needs to be perfect. If it's not perfect, that's a problem. Here's one of the V-belts that goes on here. You can imagine if this V-belt is coming off at an angle like this, it's going to cause excessive wear on the belt, which means that eventually it's going to wear out and it's going to need replacing. This particular motor is way oversized for this power hammer.
This thing is 12 horsepower. This motor was built in 1943, and it definitely wasn't an original motor with this power hammer.
I'm quite certain that the ability for this to be driven with a V-belt was an aftermarket modification to the power hammer, as is the motor.
Because I think the machine itself, the power hammer itself, is older than 1943, and all of the specifications for this type of power hammer say that it should have 7.5 horsepower to drive the ram. That's a 12.5 horsepower motor. Pretty cool though, 700 RPM. So now what I need to try and do is line up the motor, put the V-belts on, tighten up the motor, and this is gonna take a long time, and I don't know what I'm doing, so don't look at anything that I'm doing and think it's the right way of doing it, because it's definitely not the right way of doing it, but I'm gonna give it a go, because that ultimately is all you can do when you don't know how to do it properly. And this is starting to become just a little bit of an ordeal. As far as I can remember when I got this hammer about a year and a half or so ago, I was in a little bit of a rush to get it up and running because I'm young and impatient and I want everything done now. Now I have to deal with those consequences because as I try and line it up, it is way off, and I guess I've been running it out of line for all this time. So I'm now gonna fix my mistakes and drill new mounting holes, 4 new mounting holes, re-bolt the frame, the bottom thing of the motor, and then I'm gonna be able to put the belts on and retension it. But no matter what, I'm gonna be here certainly for a few more hours. My goal for the rest of the day is to get the belts on this power hammer and get that thing turned on and running sweetly. Let's make this workshop sing! And it's so much better than it was, and I can't believe that I've actually just made this work. I'm now gonna put the tension in the belts. Doesn't really need too much more. Okay, it is 11:20 in the evening, and it has taken a little bit of a longer time than I would have hoped. But I have the motor mounted, I have the flywheel perfectly in line. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how much better it is than it was. I can't believe how bad it was, but perfectly in line. The V-belts are on, then... Damn it, I didn't... I forgot to tighten the V-belts. I need to tighten the V-belts. That was silly. I was about to turn on the power hammer, and you're about to see my... Oh goodness, I really shouldn't be working this late. Okay, thankfully that only took about 10 minutes or so. The motor is now on and isn't going to go flying with a whole 12.5 horsepower of force. I'm now going to plug it into the brand new electrical sockets, which have been brand new wired. Thank you, Peter, very much. And we're gonna see if the phases are around the right way. We're gonna see if the phases are round the right way. There we go, my diction is now on form, but it is late and I am still tired. We're gonna see if the phases are around the right way. When I say that, what I'm meaning is okay, so we have 3 phase. Now that means that I have neutral, I have earth, and I have 1, 2, and 3 whatchamawatts it. Now with the 1, 2, and 3 whatchamawatts it, if one of them's the wrong way, it means that the motor can go backwards or forward. Now naturally, this needs to go a certain direction, and I think, not 100%, I think the flywheel needs to be turning clockwise when I look at the flywheel. So I'm gonna turn it on, and we're gonna see if the flywheel turns clockwise, and if the power hammer doesn't work when the flywheel does turn clockwise, it means that the flywheel's gotta turn anti-clockwise. We'll see. I'm gonna turn it on, we're gonna see how it goes, we're gonna see if the hammer explodes, we're gonna see if the whole workshop falls down, we're just gonna see if it just works perfectly, the same way it did at the old workshop, because I really wanna go get some sleep, but I think it's gonna work perfectly. Let's give it a go. I'm talking about. What a day! It is almost midnight. Oh, it is so exciting! Today has been a very, very successful day. It is so good. We have painted walls. Inside of there is painted. Everything is starting to come together. The power hammers are operational. The forge. I haven't talked about the forge today. The forge. It's curing nicely. Almost ready for me to start giving it some heat cycles to do the full cure. Not that I know exactly what type of heat cycles it needs, because I don't know anything about this. I would like to say thank you so much for watching this video. I truly hope that you have enjoyed. It is such a pleasure bringing you along this incredible, exciting journey. Thank you. I hope that you go and watch 2 more videos on my channel. If you're new, please hit subscribe, because very, very soon we're gonna have the forge up and running. We're gonna have big, hot pieces of steel in the power hammer, and I can't wait to see you then. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Go watch another 2 of my videos and have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.